Huh? Okay. Right. Yeah, that's fine. All right. So we got Lissadell all blocked up, and on the lift, on the launch lift. Thanks to Mr. Bob Taylor for driving. And the bow's not sitting on anything. No. It's sitting right there. Just on that corner. Little weight just on that corner though. Maybe both corners. Yeah. This is always the most nerve-wracking part. It's much better that we don't have the truck with the slings anymore. Yeah. Like that one, that's what we used to use. We used to have to take our forestays off, and it was a big pain in the ass. Reliable, got you in and out, but this thing's much better. I think she cleans up pretty nicely. What do you think? One coat of Polyglow. I didn't put more than one on because I'm only going to be in for like 3 months. And I did not paint the bottom because there's plenty of paint on the bottom. And again, I'm only going to be in for 3 months. So the important part is getting it in the water so that Todd and Suzanne can work on it and go from there. So here comes the moment of truth. We're backing up the boat on the hydraulic lift and putting her in the water for the first time. So the important thing here is to have a high enough tide, number one, which shouldn't be a problem with this boat. It drafts about 3.8 feet, I guess, 3 foot 8 inches. But the tide here looks pretty good. We did get it off the trailer. Tie it to the dock, and I think I started looking to see what was going on, and I was seeing some water coming in, or it seemed like it, so I drained the bilge out as best I could and then stood there and watched it. So while I was waiting, I started up the engine. You can see right there, smoked a little bit, got engine running pretty good, and I think at this point I was like debating whether it was taking on water or not and how much, I guess. So I backed it off of that floating dock onto the other bigger floating dock there. Got it tied off and went back on and was checking some things out. So at this point, it was kind of iffy. I noticed water was coming in, but I just didn't know how much and if it would stop. I guess somebody said if it was the through hulls, maybe once they got wet, they would swell and then kind of stop leaking. I don't know how much I bought into that premise, to be honest with you. But at this point, I'm looking in the bilge and it's filling up. And I checked the through hulls in the back, and they were weeping. I don't know the amount of water that they were leaking was going to sink the boat anytime soon. Of course, they also didn't tie off the aft quite well enough. As you can see, the boat's kind of drifting out with the wind, which I didn't really realize. I was so focused on checking the through hulls and watching the water rise. And basically I did this for about 20 minutes or so. And yeah, the water was just like it was coming in. I was trying to figure out where it was coming from, and I really couldn't determine much of anything other than it had to be coming up through the keel bolts. Um, yeah, that was always my question of integrity, I guess, of the keel. And I just wasn't sure, and it looked like it was coming up through maybe from the front nut, front bolt, but it also looked like maybe it was coming in through the back. And at this point, I just wasn't sure. So got the boat turned around, pulled it back over to the floating wooden dock there, and Bob Taylor, the gentleman driving the lift, had to get home. So it was kind of leave it in the water and wait till the next day, or get it out now. And at this point, I just decided to get it out now. I made the phone call to Walden Rigging to cancel my appointment for the following like week and a half after this. So this is like first week in June, I believe. So I called them, rescheduled for July 21st, and hoped that I could get whatever needed done before July 21st. So at this point, my plan was to haul the boat out, get it back up on stands, kind of consult with a few people. We had to be careful when we were lifting this up, and this will pop up later. That trailer, that wing keel, there's not much clearance left to right, side to side on that trailer, and ended up dinging it up a little bit here. But we did get the boat pulled out and put up on blocks, and awaiting, what to do next, which we'll get into in the next couple of videos. Thanks for checking us out. You can catch us at the Shooting the Breeze Sailing Podcast over at theescapepods.com. Sail on.